Hey gang, greetings from I-71 South in Ohio. I just wanted to take a moment to thank those of you that have been so supportive of my trip and my career endeavors and whatnot. It certainly feels good to have a small army behind me, and I certainly wasn't expecting the amount of support that I received. Maybe y'all are just glad to be rid of me. No, I tease. Self-deprecating humor for the win. But I also wanted to talk about just like the motions that I've been going through and how the trip has been so far and such. And I'll say that I contemplated for a fairly long time, the better part of an hour anyway, whether or not I really wanted to make any sort of video to begin with, and what I would talk about in it, or what I would show based on what I've seen here on the trip so far, and also what kind of energy I would bring to it, if it would be, chill, more so not necessarily knowing what to say, Evan, or high energy elf at a Christmas party running around dancing, etc., Evan. Looks like you got the former. This time anyway, for now. Don't know why. Well, I mean, I do. That's just what I'm feeling, okay? I want to keep it honest. That's not to say that I couldn't hype myself up or psych myself up to be a little bit more enthusiastic, but whatever. It is what it is, I suppose. And in contemplating whether or not I wanted to make the video, of course I came up with plenty of excuses or reasons why I shouldn't. And then I started to think of just as many reasons, well, maybe not as many reasons, but better reasons why I shouldn't, put it that way. And I could say the same thing for the road trip, honestly. If I didn't have an Airbnb reservation that I'd end up losing money on, maybe not the whole thing, but the first 30 days are non-refundable at the very least if you cancel before your check-in date. I was finding toward the very end some decent reasons not to go. Starting with my flippin' car and all the mechanical issues. I don't even want to get into them. I mean, it's older, it needed some work, especially if I'm going to be traveling 1,500 miles and 24 hours. Peace of mind is pretty important. So I got that. It came at a price. But just, the fact that all of this seemed to happen right before I was leaving is particularly frustrating, and could be interpreted as a sign from above or wherever that maybe I shouldn't go. Too bad. Gone. I went. I'm going.
There's a speed trap ahead.
Oh, good to know. Thank you, Google Maps. Additionally, I need a couple of root canals, and the endodontist recommended that I not wait 3 months to have those done. Truth be told, I've probably needed these for a couple of years. And I say that due to, well, just like the overall, not necessarily discomfort, but there have been some signs that the roots might be dead. These 2 teeth down here. But not like outward flare-up infection type symptoms or signs. So it is what it is. If it's been this way for this long, they can wait a couple more months. And there are dentists down in New Orleans and the surrounding area. If an emergency arises, maybe, probably, I'll take care of it. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so there were the car, root canals. What else? I thought there was something else. Maybe there wasn't. Yeah, oh, and in addition to the mechanical problems, I got a flippin' chip in my windshield. Someone kicked a rock up on the highway, hit it just right. I've had this car for 7 years. It's like, what is it, 13, 14 years old now. Never gonna chip in the windshield. Had plenty of rocks hit it, I've heard, ping off the highway, but yeah, again, just had to happen right before I was leaving. Got it filled professionally, wasn't gonna mess around with the DIY kit on the day that I left New Hampshire with this. Oh, crazy. So, in any case, yeah. Reasons, excuses not to go, whatever. I mean, last time I tried to go, it was around this time in 2020 and a pandemic broke out. Okay, that's a little bit more of a sign to, yeah, maybe take a step back and reevaluate, reassess whether or not it's a good idea to go. Thankfully, I had not yet booked an Airbnb reservation or anything like that. So even though I'd started to pack, I was following the news, watching the news, and yeah. No go, don't go. So that was that. 2 years later, here we are. Trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to mention. Oh, just like the day that I was set to leave the house that I'm renting, I felt heavy, like kind of not really depressed, but overwhelmed, basically. And I was just dragging, getting stuff together, getting packed, and how I was gonna fit everything in this small car. It's tight. Freaking trunk is full also. And I limited myself to how much I'd be able to put in the trunk. Not just by how much space is available overall, but since this is a hardtop convertible and there is a compartment in the trunk that you can either raise for more trunk space or lower to put the roof down, I said, hey, you know what? If I'm going to put this much money into the car, might as well be able to use its best feature. And once I get to warmer weather, I'll put the flipping roof down. Great, awesome. And I don't think I have anything light enough to blow away. So that's good. That's great. What else? I don't know. But, that feeling of heaviness, dragging, what have you. Yeah, that's just going through the motions, I suppose. I did forget a few things. Nothing major. But it would have been convenient to have my bathing suit for the pool at the hotel last night, and the pool at the hotel tonight, and whatever else I end up doing, going down south, beaches, etc. I just used my shorts, no big deal. Go swimming in my shorts. Oh, and there's also a windscreen type thing to put in the back seat once I get everything out of there that kind of helps with airflow when the roof is down. I forgot that. I don't know that I would have had room for it. And even just deciding, what do I really have room for? What else do I want to try to cram in here? It's tough, but I made it out. Got my W-2 before it got lost in the mail or whatever, so that I didn't have to have it forwarded or sent to me in New Orleans after it was already at the house that I'm renting, or already delivered there, whatever. I'm rambling. Yeah. See, it's because of pauses and gaps like this that I question, whether or not I should really do this, and also just how much or what the lack of interest has been in my vlogs overall in the past. I don't know. But this is different. Oh, shit. What the hell's going on here? Different year, different folks, different circumstances. Figured, whatever. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So the trip so far has been pretty nice. Pretty nice. Smooth cruising. Boring though. Drab. Like nothing to see. I-90 West. Nothing but dead, barren, bare trees and grass. You know, a couple of little houses here and there. You know, maybe a gas station. Boring. But at least it's not congested. At least I'm not in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Now I'm on 71 South, like I said. Same thing. Traffic's been great. Excuse me. I spent the night in Erie, Pennsylvania last night. The Comfort Inn was adequate. Not filthy or anything. Good price, etc. What else? Oh, I had to use a porta potty at one rest stop because they were under construction, and it was the filthiest freaking porta potty I've ever seen in my life. No joke, no exaggeration. And they said that they have a regular cleaning schedule of Monday and Thursday. Well, I went on Thursday and it sure as shit hadn't been cleaned yet. I'd hate to see what it looks like sidetracked. And I considered whether or not I wanted to film that and see what kind of reactions I got. But I talked myself out of it. And then I also came across a funeral procession on the highway with a hearse and a couple of limousines and other random cars, and I'd never really seen that before. I think I'd heard about it, but I was just like, dang, they're going, all out. At first I was like, what is this string of cars? I thought it was like an oversized load because, a couple of cars had those flashers on them and flags up, but the flags were like funeral flags flying off the car antennas. It's just weird, strange, something I didn't see before. So now I am on my way to Nashville for the night. I'll finish up the drive to New Orleans tomorrow and see what other interesting updates I have for you along the way, and whether or not I'm able to bring myself to film anything else that strikes me as halfway interesting. We'll see. If nothing else, if you've stuck with me this long for this vlog, just consider the underlying message of doing things outside of your comfort zone and in spite of, excuses not to. Okay? The two major circumstances here being, one, actually taking the trip, and two, just making a video. Whether it sucks or not, it's better than zero. I learned that from Gary Vaynerchuk. That's a good takeaway also. It's better than zero. Gary V for the win. It's better than zero. I'll still question it. Is it really better than zero if it absolutely sucks? Maybe this doesn't absolutely suck, but it's honest. It's truthful. It's important to be able to be that way. It's not all high energy and enthusiasm and knowing what to say at the right time, etc., from me. But sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not, and that's okay. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.